Yes, when I took over as Deputy Commander back in May this year, I undertook a very detailed review about our operational policing response to Rory, so that I could get a look and feel about how our response was on the night. Now that has undertaken me interviewing the witnesses that were with him on the night and undertaking some further extensive searches of the river, which have now spread down to the area of Goole. And at present, we haven't located Rory.
Do you still believe that Rory did end up in the river, or have you discovered anything which has changed your mind on that?
I think from the early investigation, we've had no further sightings, confirmed sightings of Rory since that night. But we continue to search for Rory until we locate him.
And in reviewing the case, was there anything that the police could have done better 2 years ago?
I think when we looked at the review, there are perhaps some ways in which we recorded information that could have been clearer, but I think the investigation itself was very detailed, and I think as a result of an independent peer review of my work, I think we're satisfied that the work undertaken was of a real detailed level.
The parents obviously say they are convinced that Rory didn't end up in the river. They're convinced that there's another explanation. They're concerned and frustrated about the lack of information regarding the lost 6 minutes. Do you share that frustration about that particular period?
I think any mother or father of a child that remains missing for such a period of time, I mean, I couldn't imagine what would be going through Rory and Doug's mind at this time and at this particular period of the second anniversary. And I would reiterate the message that Doug and Liz have already passed here. We are missing 6 minutes of where Rory's location when he and another male went up Tower Street, and then Rory reappeared running towards Skeldergate Bridge. We've never really been able to locate where Rory or the person that he was with actually ended up within those 6 minutes, or why Rory was running back towards Skeldergate Bridge on that night. And actually, any sightings or any information in those early hours of Friday, the 20th of November 2015, are really crucial to the investigation to give us any further leads as to where Rory ended up on that night.
How long does the police go on looking for Rory?
With any missing person inquiry, until a person is located, that search will continue. Clearly, we have a duty to the family and to everybody else in these circumstances to locate a missing person, and we will endeavour to continue to do so.
What does that mean in terms of resources for this case?
I think, what we need to be mindful of is that any sightings or anything that we get in terms of information will be dealt with proportionately. And as a result of any further information or even intelligence that we get around Rory's disappearance will be dealt with and graded appropriately, and we will respond to those.
So does that mean more resources are directed depending on the information?
I think it would depend on that information, but we would put those resources to that piece of information.
But again, the most important thing is you need information, don't you?
Absolutely. As I say, and I reach out to anybody that was in the city that night or knows of information that could be just that piece of information to the puzzle that allows us to support the family and give some outcome to where Rory was on that night.